Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl, Fame with Tiffany Renee. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If you have been here before, thank you for returning. I've missed you all so much. On this channel, we talk about everything metaphysics, quantum physics. We talk about some esoteric stuff, spirituality, everything to help us get through this journey called life in the best possible way. Okay. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. I have some things that are transpiring that I'm excited to announce. I will be starting a Patreon. On that Patreon, I will be providing intuitive readings, intuitive advice, anything like that. So there'll be a space where you'll be able to ask me questions, or, if I'm feeling a vibe about something and an intuitive message comes through, I'll pop it up on the Patreon. Also, I'm going to be having a website that I'm working on, a link where people can click on, and there'll be some blogging there, and there also will be access to the PDF versions, like the downloadable versions, like of my book, Pounds Down, Forks Up, the actual manuscript PDF version, in case you're trying to slim down a little bit or transform your body, however you want to transform it. And it talks about my journey to transforming my body using my mind and inspired action. That will be over there. Also, I'm going to create some courses as well on how to manifest different things. I'm also creating a playlist here on YouTube where everything about my manifesting when it comes to my concerts experiences and stuff like that, I'm going to put those on a separate playlist here on YouTube as well. So without further ado, I don't want to make this video too long. I know I say that all the time, but I'm really trying this time around. I'm going to start uploading between 3 or 4 videos a week, along with some shorts and maybe some affirmation pictures and things like that. Really trying to get more momentum going with my channel. A lot has been going on in my life, and I've had some deaths, and lost both my grandmothers within a short period of time. And we just had the memorial service on Saturday for my second grandmother, and it's just been a lot. We lost my other grandmother 5 weeks before her, and so many different changes and emotions and grief, and just trying to still focus and show up for you all the best way that I possibly can. So feel free to leave me some comments and let me know if there's anything that you want me to talk about, or if you want my opinion on something, or, just let me know, and now I'll create a video about that. If it's something super juicy, I might save it for the Patreon, but depending on what it is, but I will let you know. Today, as you can tell by the thumbnail, we're talking about wealth. Okay, we're talking about wealth, luxury, opulence. Okay, all of those delicious words. Listen, we're going to talk about manifesting, deliberately manifesting, calling into your reality, shifting timelines, all of that when it comes to your wealth and your luxury and your elevation, if that's what you want. Me, I am a gal who loves the finer things in life. Everyone isn't like that. And luxury looks different to everybody. And that's okay. Luxury looks different to everybody. Sorry. On my piercings. Luxury looks different to everybody. And that's okay. Whatever luxury looks like to you, then that's what luxury is to you, right? Some people don't like all the frou-frou and all the blingy stuff and all that, but they think a really nice, tricked out RV is considered luxury. Bless. Great. That's your luxury. That's your definition of luxury. So from my perspective, and the way I define luxury for myself, gold, silver, all the precious jewels and precious metals, 5-star hotel. Excuse me. 5-star hotels, fancy restaurants, front row at every show and concert, backstage, at concerts, meeting my favorite celebrities and hobnobbing, being in the same room as them, nice seats on the airplanes, the executive suites at hotels, like resorts, like all of those type of things. I love. I watch my lottery dream home all the time because I want to see people who win the lottery, the beautiful houses that they're buying. I watch, it doesn't come on anymore, but if you're an 80s kid, if you remember back in days, even if you're older, back in the 80s, there was a man named Robin Leach. He's passed away now, but he hosted this show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And they tried to reboot it several years, like decades later, with Nick Cannon. So he started it again, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. When I tell you, when I was a kid in the 80s, I was obsessed with Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Okay. I was watching Entertainment Tonight when I was 7. Okay. I was obsessed with Mary Hart and John Tesh. And I know I'm taking y'all way back. Listen, I'm all about that life. And then I think it was Robin Leach's voice came back again to do on VH1. Used to have a series called The Fabulous Life of whoever. When I tell you, I was obsessed with that. Every time there was a marathon about the fabulous life of, and it was people more modern, like of today. Like they had the fabulous life of Nicki Minaj, of I think it was Miley Cyrus, and all the Atlanta, singers and rappers, and they think they had one with, I think Beyonce and Jay-Z, one with J Lo. Like it was all these different people who were newer-ish. The fabulous life of all these people, of the Kardashians and all of that, Kim and Kanye at the time. And I was obsessed. I freaking loved that show because I love to see the opulence and the wealth. I do not cast down wealth. That's the first thing. That was a mindset change for me because probably like many of you, I was told, especially growing up in the Middle East like I did, that almost poverty is like a virtue. If the more humble you can live, I'm sorry, people outside, the more humble you can live, it's supposed to like get you closer to your creator, closer to God. It makes you more holy or more spiritual. I had to debunk that in my mind because I've been broke. I've lived in my car. I've experienced poverty. And let me tell you something, baby. There was not a doggone thing, okay, virtuous about that. There was not a doggone thing that I loved and appreciated. I was trying to pray out of it, out of that situation. I didn't look at those situations as this is me being humble and it's okay that I have to sleep in my car. Absolutely not. I was like, come on, God, we need to figure this out. Tell the universe to orchestrate some type of circumstance to get me up out of this. I didn't look at it as something that made me more holy and all that. No, that's not how I viewed it at all. But that had to come after me experiencing it. Because I believed at one point in time that if you want to be, spiritual or a good person or, fill in the blank, anything that considers pious or virtuous or whatever, you're not allowed to have money. You can't want nice things. That's materialistic. That's the ego, right? When I started going into my journey, I started understanding that God created an abundant planet. Okay, there's an abundance of all types of things in this universe, okay, and on earth. And that God is not a God of lack. You know what I mean? Like there is no lack anywhere. It is only our perception of the lack of something that creates the lack. Because if, God, the creator, insert whatever resonates with you, but I say God. If God is all that there is no limit to God. There is no lack in God. God is only abundant. right? So abundance is our birthright. We were born to be wealthy. We were born to be abundant because we come from an abundant source. There is no lack with God. God lacks nothing, right? So therefore, as vast as the universe lacks nothing. The universe is so abundant. It is abundant of all types of things that we don't even know about, things we haven't even discovered yet. If you think about it, we look at abundance maybe as how much money is in our bank account, what kind of car are we driving, what kind of house are we living in, how much money we pulling down at the job. Valid. Those are elements of abundance. Those are factors, absolutely, of abundance. But have you thought about how you have maybe an abundance of oxygen to breathe right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably have an abundance of a lot of things. If you collect things, if you're a collector, you probably have like, I collect VHS movies and cassette tapes. I have an abundance of VHS movies and cassette tapes. Okay. You may feel like that. You may have an abundance of food. You may have an abundance of clean running water. You know what I mean? Like, we're abundant. You may have an abundance of clothes in your closet, an abundance of shoes, an abundance of jewelry, whether it's real or costume jewelry. You may have an abundance of hair. If you have a lot of hair, you may have an abundance of friendship, an abundance of love, right? You probably have an abundance of intellect or knowledge when it comes to certain things. We're all abundant in some capacity. Abundance abounds regardless, whether we think it's there or not. I just want to start off with that. So if you can shift your mindset out of the idea that I cannot be a good person, I cannot call favor to me unless I'm destitute. If you can remove that belief, my previous video, we talked about believing versus knowing. If you can take that belief out, if it does not serve you, and start shifting that belief and turning it into a knowing that wealth is your birthright, abundance is your birthright. It is okay. It is okay for you to have what you want. It is okay for you to be rich. It is safe for you to be rich. I have to tell myself those affirmations. It is safe for me to have money. It is safe for me to have an abundance of money. It is safe for money to flow to me easily, effortlessly, harmoniously through the path of least resistance on a continuous basis. It's safe for me to have these things. It is okay for me to want to eat at the best restaurants. It's okay for me to ride around in the nice cars. And even if you just got to start where you are, which is what I did, okay? I started by telling myself that it's okay for me to be in the front row at every concert. And I started manifesting that. I demanded it. I said, law of attraction says I can do or have anything I want. I want to be in the front row. And that was like mid 2019. And I've been on a roll ever since. Okay. And the universe keeps surprising me. The experiences just keep getting better and better. You know, I can buy a ticket that is in the middle of the arena or off to the side, maybe even with an obstructive view. I will still end up in the front row. I will still be placed in the front row. Okay. In some kind of way, I may see somebody who I know down in the front, and I just go down to say hi, and then they're like, you can just hang out here, and I just end up in the front row. It has happened at the beginning of a show, in the middle of a show. It didn't matter. As soon as I arrived, a front row seat became available. Like, when I tell you, and I'm going to put these in my courses that I'm going to upload, and I'll talk more about this on my Patreon. I'm telling you, because I decided that I deserve these experiences. They're not just for super rich, well-known, well-connected people. Because if we're connected to source, how can you be more connected than source? There is not one person on this planet who they can say, you can't have this, or I'm getting this because I have the right connections. I'm connected to God. I'm connected to source. I'm connected to the universal energy and the universal law of abundance. So I don't care what person you have a connection with. I'm connected to the supernatural part of abundance, as so are all the rest of us. And the path of least resistance, a bridge of incidents, will show up that might include other people, being connected to other people, which all of my incidents have. People were used as part of my bridge of incidents to get what I want. I started traveling out of town on my own, by myself. I started going to Nashville because they have amazing brisket there. And I would go to Memphis as well. Every time I go to Nashville, I stay at the same chain of hotels because I'm a member there and I get points. And I always get the executive king suite. Every time. I go on booking.com and I find him, or I go on the website of the hotel chain and I see which one has the better deal. And I book myself the executive king suite. It's a king size bed and has a pull out sofa and all. I know it's a lot of space for me, just one person, but guess what? I'm executive king suite level person in my mind, and that's what I desire. I get suites all the time when I travel. Very rarely, like if I'm just going to be there for a few hours or for the night, just for an event and I'm leaving, I might get a regular queen size bed, a regular, room, a regular suite. But if I know I'm going to be there like for a weekend, 2 days or longer, I'm getting a suite wherever I'm at. I'm getting the executive suite. Why wouldn't we? You know what I mean? Get you your executive suite because you deserve the suite. You deserve to have the suite with the nice bathtub and the nice shower. Okay? You deserve that. You deserve to have the little sitting room area, and then over there is the area where your bed is. 2 TVs all to yourself. You got the desk and you got the little coffee table. Like, why not? You deserve it. When you start shifting your mindset to saying, I deserve wealth, wealth comes to me easily, effortlessly, and abundantly through the path of least resistance. When you start looking at yourself in the mirror and deciding that you are now the version of you that calls forth all types of luxury and wealth into your life harmoniously, and that whatever you have is not taking anything away from anybody else, because all wealth is meant for you as well. It's not just reserved for the 1%. Bump the 1%, okay? I'm the 1%. We're part of the 1%, okay? Listen, just start telling yourself that you're just as good as they are. They're just regular people who happen to be able to capitalize off of some sort of talent or idea or ideology that they've been able to sell to the masses. I mean, they're no better than we are. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. They were given the same energy. They came from the same place. We are all connected. Quantum physics has proven that. We're all connected. So what one person can have, you best believe there's already a version of you that exists that has what they have, or better, or more. I love luxury. I love the opulence. I love it. And I feel so much gratitude for it. Feel gratitude for all the wealth in the world instead of condemning and cursing it. The more we condemn and curse something and complain about something, the more we push it away. If you want to bring more luxury and abundance into your life, you have to feel gratitude for the fact that it even exists, even if it's not in your bank account. So if you, whoever is out here and has all the millions and the billions, the Oprah money and all that stuff, whoever you look at, and maybe you might feel like, or a little disdain, like, how dare they have all these millions and they're just wasting it. They're not even doing. The more you do that, the more you push your wealth away from you. Because God always says yes. And therefore the universe only responds to yes, right? And Tom Karen would be something wonderful. I absolutely love his channel. I'm like obsessed with his channel. I watch his stuff every single day. The minute it hits, I'm watching. Okay, now I'm listening to him. And he was talking about this exact thing. He was talking about how God only says yes. And that is true. Anything you say, it's a yes. So if you say, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve, I haven't worked hard enough, I haven't completed whatever enough, or I'm not, the answer is yes, you're right. You're not good enough. Let me show you evidence. Let the universe bring you evidence to support just how not good enough you are. Or if you're like, oh, look at those people, they got all that money. I would never buy anything. I would never waste money like that. I would never even want that type of money. The response, yes, you're right. You never would want that type of money. Universe, bring them all the evidence to support how they will never want that type of money. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's always a yes. You always get exactly what you say or what you are. And so I'm going to wrap it up here. I want you to be encouraged, and I want you to be excited and inspired to want more for yourself, and to know that it is 100% possible. Not only is it possible, it has already happened. Quantum physics has taught us that. There is already a version of you that exists right now that has all the wonderful wealth and luxury that you could possibly imagine and more. That person of you already exists right now. What is our job? To be the observer, to look at that timeline, to look at that version of ourselves, and to decide, I'm that person. I'm that person. I am that person. I'm the person who has all this stuff. Literally, it takes a decision. We always have a choice. I said this in my last video. We always have a choice. Even if it doesn't look like you have a choice, you have a choice all the time. Choose to be the wealthy version of you. Choose to be whatever a level up version of you, whatever an elevated version of you, whatever that looks like. Decide that you are that person. How would that person act? How would they walk? How would they talk? Would they be stressing about money, or would they be easy about it? And don't get me wrong, I have moments where the 3D is 3Ding and life is lifing. And then I react or I respond, however I respond. If I need to cry, or if I need to take action, if I need to call some people, if I need to send some letters or some emails, if I need to challenge certain things, I take the appropriate 3D action. And then I have to jump back into my affirmations. I have to jump back into like, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Or, to quote Roxy Talks, everything works out for me, best case scenario. Everything works out for me, best case scenario. Tom Karen, once again, Tom Karen be coming through with the good stuff too. He said, conditions are only conditions, but I am. And I said this in my last video. Your I am is everything. You are the wealth. It's you. You're whatever you say you are. Define it. Your I am is everything. Conditions are conditions, but I am. Your I am will never change. Whatever the conditions are, okay, they're there. They have a right to be there because Everything is possibility and probability, and all possibilities exist, including the situation that you don't want to be in. It has a right to be there because it's part of the long line of probability that exists in your life. You can say, okay, I see you. I acknowledge you. You have a right to be here, and I respect that, but I'm not choosing you anymore. I'm going to choose this timeline and this reality. So I'm going to start only looking at this reality. Whatever is going on here, okay, you were just a condition. A condition is a condition, but I am the version of me on this other timeline. I am this wealthy person. I am living in luxury. And it's happening now because it's literally happening right now. And the more you focus on that version of you and that timeline, you will start to see some serious changes. I'm telling you from personal experience. Personal experience. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm living where I'm living right now, where I told a friend of mine back in 2008, I wanted to live in this area. It was way cheaper back then. And she was like, oh, why would you want to live there? And it's so congested, blah, blah. But I always wanted to live over here. And it's down the street from like the super duper fancy mall that sells like the Louis Vuitton and the Versace and all that stuff. And it's so wonderful that I'm like, I still want to be here. I want to be in this area. When I would drive over to this area, I'm right near all the places where I would go anyway, right? And then I ended up moving here just a couple months ago. And it dawned on me that it was like, wow, I was able to like actually make enough to where I could afford to live here because the rent has skyrocketed. It's double than what I was paying. But I'm like, at my last apartment where I lived for 5 years, I thought that rent was high. You know what I mean? And it was half of what I'm paying now. And so I have to keep stretching my money story. And it's like, okay, well, you thought that was high. Okay, but you were able to, you had more than enough to live there. You know what I mean? Money flowed to you. Even during the pandemic, money was flowing. Do you see what I'm saying? Abundance kept showing up. And here I am in this new place that's double what I was paying. And it's like, and look at that. But my income, it stretched to match it. Do you see what I'm saying? So the more you decide that you can elevate, you're going to keep getting evidence to support your elevation and embrace it. Embrace your elevation. It's okay. It is okay. It is safe. It is your birthright to be wealthy, rich, opulent, abundant, all of those wonderful, wonderful things. So go out there and live your best luxurious life. Do little things. Take the fancy Uber. Start taking the fancy Uber places. Maybe once a month or every 2 months, treat yourself and go to that fancy restaurant. You know what I mean? Get that fancy meal. Why not? When you go travel, get you a bomb Airbnb. That's a mansion. Okay? Intend for it. Go and stay at those nice hotels. Go stay in the executive king suite. I don't even look at the other suites. I'm looking at the executive king suite every time. Every time. And I've been able to afford it. Sometimes getting it discounted because I may have had enough points or something. So sometimes I even get a discount. Do you see what I'm saying? Abundance. Abundance. Maybe get the name brand of your toilet paper or name brand of certain foods that you usually get the generic. Now, I still get some generic sometimes because I'm about quality, okay? So sometimes the generic stuff, the quality, the taste, or whatever is better. But I now know that I have the option to buy name brand things. I was telling my friend that I remember when it dawned on me when I was able to buy Pringles. Like real Pringles. Gotta love Pringles. Like real Pringles. Not like, the generic version that they had. Because when we were little, we didn't have money. You know what I mean? And my mom wasn't getting the brand nothing. We had the milkman, we would get stuff from the food pantries. And I remember we had a big, like big donation for like the food pantry, and I was maybe 7 years old. This is like in the 80s. And they put so many name brand foods in there that me and my brother would watch just the commercials about. And I mean, they had the name brand fruit snacks. They had these things called ice cream bonbons. I don't know if y'all remember that, but they were phenomenal. They had like the name brand pudding, like the real Jello pudding. We had like the name brand ice cream. We had like and popsicles, and we had real craft cheese and not just the block government cheese. Like, and me and my brother, we went insane. We had Jif peanut butter, like real Jif peanut butter. Our cereal, we had like real cinnamon toast crunch, not just the generic white box that says cereal in black, and you just whatever it was what it was. I laugh about it now, but I remembered he and I, we had real Oscar Mayer bologna. Like, it blew our minds. And we thought that we had like hit a jackpot, that we were like all of a sudden rich because we had all this name brand food in our cabinets, and we were just elated. And after I left college and everything, started working on my own, I made it a point to get me some like name brand Pringles, like real Pringles, and a real A&W root beer. And starting to get emotional about it, because I was like, for the first time, like, wow, I can actually have the actual name brand stuff. I can buy the name brand soap. I can buy name brand foods. I can buy name brand sodas. And it's not the fact about the brand itself. It's not about the brands. It's about having the option. It's about having the choice. It's about being in the position where I can choose what I want, where before I couldn't choose. To me, that's opulence. That's abundance. That's luxury. That's wealth, where you can choose. Listen, I still shop at Goodwill. Listen, if my friends have clothes that don't fit them and it's cute and it fits me, this was given to me. This was a gift. This is my first time wearing it. Abundance, right? I'll still listen, bless. But I also know that shopping at Goodwill is an option, where once upon a time, that was my only option. I only shopped at Goodwill. I only shopped at the thrift stores. But now I can choose to shop at Goodwill. I can choose to go to the clearance racks at Rainbow and get me a $3 shirt for a concert, or I could pay $25 for a shirt. Do you see what I mean? I still have an option now. That's what true abundance is to me. That's true wealth, when you can choose, where you're not pigeonholed to be only in one tax bracket, or you can only enjoy certain things because you're in a certain tax bracket. I went on a cruise for my 40th birthday, and it was all expense paid because my friend surprised me with it. 6-day cruise. The Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, which was on my vision board for like 10 years. That's abundance. That's wealth. Do you see what I'm saying? If you open yourself up to wealth, I am wealthy, I am abundant, and wealth and abundance just flows to me, it will blow your mind the incredible ways that wealth and abundance will come to you. So we're done. I'm done. I wanted to keep it under 30 minutes and I didn't. But I hope you're inspired. I hope you're moved. I hope you're uplifted. And I hope that you go out there and you live your best abundant life. Start where you are. And incrementally expand and expand a little bit more and expand a little bit more and expand a little bit more. Do you see what I'm saying? Know that you have a choice. Even even if the best you can do in the beginning, maybe instead of getting the Dollar Tree toilet paper, which I still do sometimes, like, don't get me wrong, maybe you get Angel Soft for $2 more. Just starting there. You know what I mean? Start where you are. If you usually only put $15 in your gas a week, try putting 20. I felt like filling up my tank was a sign of abundance. Just when I would just be able to fill up my tank, I'm like, this is abundance right here. This is wealth right here. Do you see what I mean? The fact that I was able to fill up my gas tank. Start where you are. Start where you are. Okay. Like, share, subscribe. More videos coming. Patreon coming soon. Courses coming soon. Ebooks coming soon. And we're going to level up together. We're going to get our best life. We're going to live our best life. And we're going to have the most delicious, amazing, juiciest, fabulous life that we could possibly have while we're still here. Okay. Till next time. Bye.